D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and it was terrible. And when I say terrible, there are things that I did like about this movie, but for some part, it's not really that great for the most part. I mean, which is really, bums me out because I didn't think that the first movie was all that bad. But this one, I mean, oof, Wakanda Forever. I mean, more like Wakanda for now. So going into this movie, I already had my, I don't know if bias is the right word, kind of. But I did believe that the death of Chadwick Boseman was tragic and unexpected. And for that, I understand the problems that they had going forward with this movie. But I was totally a part of the recast T'Challa movement.
Marvel shouldn't recast T'Challa. That's not what they do.
They just recast a new Cassie Lang.
That actress was just for the blip. It doesn't count.
They also recast Red Skull.
But Red Skull has his face painted, so it's not even the same color.
Rhodey didn't even match the skin color.
But those are side characters. Marvel's never recast a lead.
Bruce Banner was recast. In 2008, 50% of Marvel was Hulk movies.
No. Somebody died, okay? Somebody died. You have to honor Chadwick. Don't disrespect his family, and like Feige said, it was just much too soon to recast.
William Hurt out, Harrison Ford in, and he only died in March. So much for too soon. And Derek Boseman said Chadwick would have wanted a recast. If it's about honoring Chadwick, shouldn't we do what he wants? At the very least, not kill the character he made so popular?
There's a perfectly good reason for why the most popular dark-skinned character in the history of film needs to be absent from the next generation of the most popular film franchise in the world, okay? It's called Fuck Black People.
And he can say that because he's black. Moving on. It's not that I didn't have faith in Ryan Coogler and his talent. It's just with the death of Chadwick Boseman, it was, in my opinion, very hard for him to fix his already completed script without a male Black Panther. And I also feel that the movie suffers because of that. I don't have any problems with Shuri. I don't have any problems with a female Black Panther. I just think that it was just too soon, and this movie is an example of that and a huge handicap for this movie. The Chadwick dying was like the worst thing that could happen to this movie and Chadwick. But I do think that I don't think that they fixed, or made a good script. And I think that they should have taken more time and overall recast. I honestly believe that this is just a cash grab. And they are completely profiting off of the death of Chadwick Boseman. I know a lot of people want me to be like, they're being respectful, they're honoring Chadwick's memory, but I beg to differ. I don't think that they are honoring him by profiting off of his death, and I believe that's exactly what they are doing. Granted, I don't know what they could have done to not make this movie and profit off of it, but they did. And that's just my story on that. So I do want to talk about everything. I'm going to go through some stuff as I go along and let you guys know what I liked, what I didn't like. And I do want to talk about some of the characters in this movie. Let's get down to Shuri. I really liked Shuri. I like Letitia Wright. I think that she's fantastic. But I don't think that her being the Black Panther was the best choice. I think that she should have stayed as a side character. I mean, she brought her A game acting wise, and I think that it was fine. I do want to talk about the acting, but I'll talk about it when I get to Riri Williams, because I also don't think that some of the scenes fit. I'll just throw it in now. For instance, the scene where they go to pick up Riri Williams from school, and she starts throwing stuff at them, and then Okoye pulls out her spear, and she's like, did you bring a spear in here and everything? And she's like, oh, I like this one. She's very feisty. And then she, slices her radio in half. And then she's like, did you bring a spear up in here? And then she's all like, is this how you treat your welders and everything? They put the clip online. It is very bad. It's very bad acted. I didn't like it. It made, you know what it did, and I'll bring it up later when I talk about Okoye, but it made Okoye a basic bitch, and I don't like that shit at all because she's my favorite character. But that part where she's like, "You need to be conscious of the ash on your forehead," and I'm all like, "Why are you what?" This bitch just pulled out a spear. Don't insult her. And then Okoye just takes it. It just takes it. Back to Shuri though. Okay, Shuri. She did a good job. I really liked the fight sequences with Shuri. Like when she comes down that wall and is like flipping around and throwing those Atlanteans back into the ocean and stuff. That was pretty cool. I really like that a lot. I have problems with them going to the ocean to fight and everything. Like they're all just all like, hey, we need to fight these dudes. Where we're gonna go? We're gonna go to the ocean. And I'm all like, what? Why are you going to the ocean? And everything. So yeah. Okay. Moving on to M'Baku. I really liked M'Baku in this movie, except for he was only in it for 5 seconds. Like he's in it for literally like I mean, he's cool when he's fighting, but he barely fought. And when he did, I mean, it was cool. They should have made him Black Panther. They didn't. It was a bad. Well, if they didn't recast, they should have recast overall. But if they didn't recast, they should have recast because M'Baku, he's pretty cool. And I mean, they make him king at the end, but I'm like, so what? He's not the Black Panther. I did like his jokes when he called Okoye a bald demon. I liked that. I thought that was funny. But yeah, he's in it for like 2 seconds, and that was another thing I have. I'll talk about later. So the Queen. I really liked Queen Ramonda, but I mean, the Queen of Wakanda, more like the Queen of melodrama. I mean, come on, like, oh my goodness, like she was like, I did like the line where she was all like, "I have lost everything, have I not given my everything for my country," or some crap like that. When she's in the throne room firing Okoye, I did like that line. But I mean, other than that, it was just like, I mean, and they killed her off, which I'm like, is he gonna kill everybody from the royal family? Like, what's going on? Nakia was all right. Like I don't know, man. Like you had the end scene with her son and T'Challa's son, but I mean, which was fine, cute kid and everything, but I'm just like, that's the future Black Panther. He's like what, 10, 11 tops. And I'm all like, this is what we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to wait around for another male Black Panther. And it's like, and real quick, you're gonna be all like, oh, you just hate strong women. No, I don't. I just this movie, yeah, if you don't agree with the recast T'Challa, then you don't understand why T'Challa was so great in the first place. I'm sorry. That's just how that is. All right, let's go over to my girl, Okoye. I have thoughts, okay? First off, Okoye is a strong female character and a strong warrior, and they have turned her into a basic bitch in this movie. Like, I'm sorry, like, she goes from being like strong and being all like, we would go anywhere we want kind of thing to I'm gonna let a little girl talk shit about me. Like, and I'm just like, no, I'm not having it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, don't be talking smack about Okoye. And she gets fired, and then like she's all cool with it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I would have fought tooth and nail to get back to where I was. But yeah, it's just like, Okoye, and then those blue armor, what are they called? The Blue Angels. Though that armor is from the comic books, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. But it was ugly in the comic books, and it's ugly in this movie. Like, I didn't like them, and I didn't see how it gave them a better stance against them at the end. Like, they still ended up losing. It was just ridiculous. Yeah. And then there was the new sorry, I'm trying to find find the character. I don't remember what the new Dora Milaje lady's name was. What was her name? I can't remember, but she was okay, but she was just like not in it for that much. And I'm just like, and her girlfriend Ao is like her girlfriend. Yeah, that's just it. Like, whatever. But yeah, they really yeah. Okay, so let's talk about real quick Martin Freeman as Everett K. Ross. Okay, so this guy is also a little bitch. I mean, they emasculate him so hard in this movie. Every woman makes him into a little bitch. Like, I'm telling you what. Ooh, I want to talk one more thing. I'll talk about the things I really liked at the end. But they turn him into such a, when Val shows up on that bridge fight, which I like that bridge fight, I'm like, what? Like, come on. Like, everybody just emasculates him, all the females in this. That's another thing. I'll talk about that later, but he's just a little bitch in this movie. Just everybody's a little bitch. Okay. I want to talk about Riri Williams, then we'll get to the Talocanians. So Riri Williams, right? What an annoying character. Oh my gosh. I didn't like her in the comic books. I thought they would make her better in this movie, but they didn't. I thought that she was horrible in this movie. The actress, like, she didn't do the best job acting wise in some circumstances. Some she did fine, but like, okay, first off, she creates her first suit in the garage using all these parts that she probably stole, because she did in the comic books. If you read the comic books, I did, unfortunately. Which is another thing. If you come at me and you're like, oh, I love Riri Williams, you don't read comic books. You have like 4 comic books. They're all Ironheart comic books. But in the comic books, the very first iteration of her, she steals Stark Tech to create her outfit. And they've retconned that. I think they've retconned her origin like 3 times now. But they retconned that. So I think that this is just that. She just stole that because they didn't explain anything, which is bad writing. If you can't explain it, it's bad writing. And then her final outfit, where she's like, and I've seen a lot of people complain about this, but it's a legit complaint. She's got cornrows in the metal. And I'm all like, what's the point of that? What's the point? Like, style, like, it looked ugly anyway. So, I mean, you drop the style portion of it. It's just not good. And the actress, listen, I don't want anything mean about the actress, but I mean, she was okay. Like, not really, though. It's bad. Okay. So now let's talk about, real quick. I want to talk about, Namor and Attuma. Okay, these two, they were fine. They barely, Namor kind of had a problem with Namor at the end, but they were fine. Attuma was a good warrior. I can see how they can set him up to be a bad guy for Namor later on. Same thing with Namor. And now, I did think Talocan was a pretty cool, like, looking city. I like how they had that little game through the thing. I'll talk about the plot and stuff when we get to Namor, which is like 2 seconds. But I did like Talocan. I wish they would have called it Atlantis, but you can't compete with Aquaman because Aquaman's awesome. But yeah, I did like that. Okay, so now let's go over to those 2 characters were fine. They served their purpose, but I mean, they didn't have, besides fighty, that's all they had. So let's head over to Namor, which I'll talk about him in the plot and all of the Talocanians. Okay, so first off, Tinoch Kawarta did a fine job. First off, his name is he's all like, my people call me Cuckoo Khan. I'm like, get out of here with that nonsense. It's so silly. This is okay. It's so silly. I'll talk about that later. Also, okay, so silly. So when he shows up, I do not understand his logic in this movie. When he shows up to talk to Queen Ramonda and Shuri, he's all like, the acting wasn't that great when he's like, the air is clear, the air is fresh, the water is clear, and then he's all like, my people call me Cuckoo Khan, but my enemies call me Namor. More like no more. It's Namor. It's Roman reversed. That's what happens in the comic books. The creator, it's Roman, the word Roman switched around. It's just turned around. Come on, guys. Like, do your research. So anyways, so his whole thing is he wants them to go and get Riri Williams and bring her to him to kill so that people cannot find out that they exist. And if they do this, he won't destroy Wakanda. what? I just be like, I don't know about you, but I don't do well with ultimatums and I don't do good with threats. You don't threaten me, you don't give me an ultimatum. So I'd have been like, bring it, bitch. And although a small group totally like manhandled Wakanda, they're not so strong now. And speaking of when he attacks and they flood the capital city of Wakanda, I mean that part was pretty cool. I did enjoy that fight. Ooh, I liked the siren song that they did and how people had to put in earplugs or they would go and drown themselves. And then I did also like the water grenades that the Talocanians had. But I did like that flooding of Wakanda. I thought that was pretty like a neat idea, and that's how you get your people throughout the city. You know, I don't know how I feel about them just like snatching civilians up and everything, but you know, what are you gonna do? Like I said, M'Baku was cool during that scene because he fought. You know, it just I don't know. I just didn't. And then they killed Queen Ramonda. I mean, that was fine too, but like I don't know. I thought he would do it cooler than that. Like he would like throw his spear and go right through her, but he didn't. Um, yeah. But I did like the battles. That last battle was pretty cool. It was just out in the middle of the ocean, which I was like, why would you go to their turf? I would bring them to my turf, but whatever. Um, and there was okay. I'm just gonna wrap this up because I've been talking for like 20 minutes, and I'm so this is the final movie in Phase 4, and people have been calling it Phase 4, and they are 100% correct. This entire phase has been nothing but silliness, this movie included. I mean, it started not so great and it ended not so great. The only movie that I've actually like really enjoyed was Spider-Man, and the only TV show that I enjoyed was Hawkeye. The rest has just been garbage, and I don't see, I don't see, I'm just not excited anymore about Marvel movies coming out. They've really let us down, and this is no exception. I'm sorry, it's just no exception. So I just don't understand like the plot, like the script is a mess. I mean, Ryan Coogler, dude. I mean, you have better in you. I don't know what happened with this, but I would say next time, don't rush Ryan Coogler. Let him figure out a new story to tell instead of the one that you've told. Because, like I said before, this is just this is just a big mess. It really is. It really is, and it bums me that I have to say that. But yeah, I am not happy in terms of this movie. But yeah. All right, you guys, that's all I got to say about this. Tell me, what did you guys think about this movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? You're gonna slay me in the comment section. I get it. That's fine. But tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next movie review. You guys have a good day. Wakanda forever. Bye.